Hello Internet, how are you doing? My name is Brian, if you are new here, and today we are going to be doing my Moto Razr 2024 review. And if you can tell right now, I'm actually not holding the Moto Razr in my hands at all. That is because I am recording this intro clip on the Razr 2024 just so you guys can see the image quality and you can see why I've been having issues with this phone. Yes, this review isn't going to be all sunshine and rainbows, I'll tell you that right now. But anyways, so I decided I want to give you guys kind of a review of my Moto Razr 2024. I'm going to break it up into different sections. First off, an initial review, I had it after a few days. Then a review after I've had it for about a week. And then I'm going to have a review after I've had the phone for almost 2 weeks. So I have lots of thoughts and opinions on this phone. So yeah, I think we should probably just get into it and talk about the Moto Razr 2024 because there's a lot to talk about and not all of it is good and not all of it is bad either. So let's jump right into my Moto Razr 2024 review. It's now been 2 days with the Moto Razr 2024, and I have some thoughts and opinions that I kind of want to share with you guys. These are kind of my first impressions, if you will, of using this phone for a few days. I feel like I've gotten a hang of all the cool new features that this phone does have, so I kind of want to talk to you guys about it in this section of the video. I have them all written down in my notes here on my phone. So the first thing I want to talk about is I absolutely love the cover display. This screen on the front of the Razr is so freaking cute. I have this really cute little background that kind of shows the sun. It kind of moves the sun around a little bit during the day, which is pretty cute. I have the always on display turned on because I feel like it just works best having the always on display. Unlock my phone with my finger. Here I have this screen right here, and you can actually swipe between the different sections of the cover screen. And the coolest part about the cover screen is again the fact that you can pretty much use the entire phone just with this cover screen. Say you need to save some battery, you don't want to open up your phone, you can do this directly through the cover screen, which is super convenient. Also really convenient because you're less distracted by your phone if you're just using the cover screen. You're not going to get entirely sucked into your phone, if you will, by using this cover screen, because while it is really nice, I feel like I'm less likely to doom scroll on this cover screen because again, all I have to do to get into my phone is I just open this up and I'm right into my phone. I also barely notice this crease on the screen at all. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see the crease there. It is noticeable, but it's not like super noticeable. I feel like on the Z Flip 4, the screen was very, very noticeable. The crease was very noticeable. This one, I do notice it, but it's not that much. Like, I have to actually like physically go over the crease in order to feel it. If I'm just scrolling on my phone, I don't feel it. If I'm actually physically trying to find the crease, I will notice it. So that's definitely a pro over the Z Flip 4. Unfortunately, a downside is the speaker on here is very, very tinny, especially when listening to videos on social media. I notice the quality of the speaker on this phone versus my iPhone. I think this is because this is not really technically a flagship phone, if you will. This is kind of their mid-range flipping phone. It's still pretty good. It's not bad. It does get pretty loud, but it is just tinny, which is something I'm just kind of not a huge fan of, quite honestly. The cameras on here are pretty decent. The front-facing camera is really not good, but using these cameras on the front, these are actually really decent cameras. Is this as good as an iPhone camera? No. However, when you go into social media and record in social media, the camera falls apart extremely quickly and does not look as good. I'm going to post some social media post examples here in the video so you can see. This is a camera test of the Moto Razr 2024. This is in kind of decent lighting on the front-facing camera, and this is with direct lighting using the front-facing camera. And this is me using the back-facing camera. I can't see myself, so hopefully this looks good. This is me using the front-facing camera in 4K on the Moto Razr 2024 in okay lighting, and this is how it looks with direct lighting. Oh, Jesus. Me using the Moto Razr 2024 in 4K, using the back camera, but using 4K without direct lighting, and this is how I look with direct lighting. So, hopefully this looks good. I don't know. The phone itself is very, very, very smooth. I have very rarely experienced any bugs or glitches on this phone. As you can see, it's 120 hertz panel, so it's great. It's snappy, it's responsive. I had a few kind of tiny little hiccups with the cover screen OS, sometimes a little bit glitchy, but so far in my 2 days that I've had it, I haven't had that many issues with it. Both screens of this phone are absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love the colors of the inner screen, and this screen right here, again, is absolutely gorgeous. This is such a good quality screen, but they really did prioritize screen quality, and I'm very happy that it did because this screen is beautiful. I've actually been having a lot of fun with the features of this phone. There are so many cute little features that you can do in this phone, like chucking your phone like this in order to activate the flashlight, and then being able to twist to activate the camera. And again, of course, having fantastic cover screen on here. As you can see, there's a glitch right there. There's a little glitch. The back material on this phone is very, very weird. Now, when I looked at the pictures from Walmart.com, I thought this was going to have like a fabric type of feel, but the back of this kind of has like a felt-like type of feel. It doesn't really feel like fabric. It kind of feels like construction paper, if you will. It's a really interesting and really bizarre. It's just a really gorgeous color. I feel like this is not going to hold up as well over time, but yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about it. Another slight issue I've had with this phone, there was a huge backlog of updates that I literally had to install on this phone. Also, it was on a May 2024 security update for Android, which is kind of a little bit suspect, which again is a little bit weird, but I think there's just a huge backlog of updates that I have to update on this phone. Final thought I have about this phone is that the battery life on this phone lasts a very long time. So right now it is 2:29 p.m. and I have 40% battery life. The last time I charged this phone was 6:06 p.m. yesterday. So this phone has a really decent battery life. I felt like with the Z Flip 4, the battery on that phone was absolutely atrocious. This has a pretty good battery life on it. It was kind of my first few days update for the Motorola Razr 2024. I'm gonna check in again with you guys at the end of my first week on. So it has now been, I believe, like 4 or 5 days since I got the Razr 2024. And I gotta say, I actually really like this phone. It is a very good one, but I do have some things I gotta talk about with you guys because they do kind of suck just a little tiny bit. A really big gripe I have with this phone is the fact that you cannot film in 4K using the back camera, using this display right here. That really freaking blows. Now, I don't know if that's because the processing power is just too much in this phone or whatever. It's not the biggest deal ever because of the fact that 4K videos on this phone look worse to me than 1080p. That is such a weird thing to say. I have never thought I would actually have that to say, but for some reason on this phone, it looks worse. Videos in general are just very noisy and they look pixelated in both 4K and HD. I don't necessarily mean pixelated, but I mean that when I'm filming a video of my face with a nice quality light, you can see all my pores, you can see all my skin texture, and it's like super, super sharp. I don't know what happened with it, but for some reason in 4K and even in HD and you have a bright light on your face, it shows every single one of your skin imperfections. It cranks up the crunchiness to like 1000%. It looks awful. I hate that, and that's why I do not like filming videos on this phone. When I use a front-facing camera and I use a light on my face, because I do that all the freaking time, it looks bad. Now, I've noticed that Instagram is very glitchy on this phone for some reason, especially with the camera. Sometimes it will go dark or crash. I've had that happen a few times. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit laggy or whatever. I don't know. I also, okay, this is something that happened a lot, but big updates kept failing on me. I don't know why, but every time I would do like a big update on this phone, like when I went from Android 14 to Android 15, it failed like 5 different times. It was weird. It kept failing on me, and that made me very, very upset. Finally, the last thing I kind of want to mention is that I feel like personalization page sometimes would not save correctly. So I have this really cool little cover screen display right here. Sometimes if I would change the display, it wouldn't save properly. If I would change a certain wallpaper, it wouldn't save properly. The personalization, which is really bizarre. And that really is the last thing I have to talk about on this phone. Honestly, there is a few issues with this phone, especially with the camera quality and the video, but like I said, I absolutely love this phone. This cover screen is so cute and so fun. The fact that I can even use a phone like this is super cute and fun. The fact that I can do this is very fun. There's so much charm to this phone, especially this mode, the Retro Razr mode. Look at this. It boots up. That is so freaking cute. And look at it, I can actually like dial numbers on here with a number pad, which is so cute. I mean, this is literally adorable. I love this. So it's officially been, I'd say, like 2 weeks with Moto Razr 2025. I have my phone pretty much entirely set up to the way I like it, and I have a case on my phone. So we're pretty much involved in this phone. We're pretty much committed to this phone, if you will. So this is going to be kind of my final thoughts on the Razr 2024. And that is, I really do like this phone. I think for $200, this phone is really, really, really good. However, I would not pay a penny more than $200 for this phone for a few reasons that I've kind of mentioned before, but primarily because I just feel like the things that this phone should be doing well just aren't. I think there's main issues mainly with like the processor on this phone. This has like a MediaTek processor, which for day-to-day usage and apps and like scrolling or whatever, it's totally fine. But then when you get into the camera, it really is behind, because I think like the image processing on that chip is just not good. So that sucks. And the main selling point of this phone is honestly the fact that you can hold your phone up like this and use it as a tripod, but the video quality on both the front and even the back camera is just not good at all. There's no way to fix the camera on this phone. I've tried it. I've tried to update it. I've tried to do different settings and stuff like that, doing it in different lighting and whatever. I've accepted that the camera on this phone is just garbage and I don't want to use it. I only want to use this camera for stills, for still photography, because the still photography on this phone is still pretty decent, especially in really good lighting. It looks fantastic, but video is just absolutely garbage. It's not good. I've accepted it. Again, kind of the reason why I wanted this phone again is because I can put my phone up like this and use it as a tripod and see myself using the better cameras, and I can't use that for that, which sucks. I've also noticed that I feel like the screens should be brighter, especially for outside. Whenever I'm outside with this phone, it's not bright enough because I can clearly see the crease and I can see the reflections on the screen, especially the screen, the inside screen. It's just not bright enough. I've also noticed that apps are just getting buggier and buggier each time I'm using it. Like I literally was using Threads earlier on today. Okay, now it's not gonna do it, but basically the screen was like glitching out on Threads. And I know it was a Threads issue, not a phone issue, but I've noticed that with a lot of applications, just the quality of the applications is just not that good. On TikTok, I noticed that the quality sucks. I noticed that my For You page repeats itself when I'm scrolling on TikTok for a while. I noticed that the image quality just looks bad. Apps are just very buggy. Even Discord's buggy. Instagram is buggy. They get buggier and buggier by the day. And unfortunately, I've heard that Motorola phones just do not have good app integration and everything and good updates and whatnot. So unfortunately, that's just something I have to deal with this phone, which kind of sucks. And that pretty much kind of is all I really want to talk about. Now, do I recommend this phone? Honestly, if you're someone who doesn't worry too much about image quality, then this is a great phone, a fantastic phone, if you will. I do have questions about the durability and how long it will last with software updates and stuff like that. So I wouldn't buy this phone if you want a phone that's going to last you for like 5+ years. If you just want to change with your iPhone, you want this phone for like a good 2 or 3 years, I think this will easily last you a good 2 or 3 years. I hope it gets Android updates for another 2 or 3 years. I'm just not 100% sure about the durability of this phone. I'm not 100% sure about the software support of this phone, and the image quality is just not good. So this is just a good phone either if you want as a secondary device, if you just want a fun phone that you want to have and you don't worry too much about image quality. That's when I would recommend this phone. If you are switching to this from an iPhone, no, don't buy this phone. This is not going to be a good phone. Either get the Moto Razr Ultra or get the Galaxy Z Flip 6 or 7. Those are going to be better phones than this phone will be. So that's what I will say. All right, guys, that is it for my Moto Razr 2024 review. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to hit that button down below and subscribe and click the notification bell to get notifications on whenever I upload a video next. You can also follow me on all the social medias. Links are going to be down in the description down below and also right here. And also I do have channel memberships where you can get access to exclusive video content for 99 cents a month or $1.99 a month. So be sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye. And again, this phone doing this, it eats every single time.